Avengers, assemble. Welcome back to Sanders Presents. I'm Greg, and if you're enjoying the content we're producing, then please consider following that link in the description below to become an Avenger today by joining our Patreon. We have two tiers available, a $3 tier and a $5 tier. Both tiers get you access to the Avengers Mansion Discord, exclusive videos, leaks, and images that we can't post through social media for fear of getting all of that stricken and taken down. And in addition to that, at the $5 Avenger Premium tier, you will become a founding Avenger, which nets you free comics, video recommendations. You can suggest as a producer what you want to see us make, and you will be added to our Hall of Heroes, our Avengers Memorial, as a founding Avenger. And I want to thank Fairy Cake Ed, Fly Guy 215, One Shot, One Kill, Treasure Valentine, and Fishy for being Avenger Premium members and founding Avengers. Again, your support makes this content possible. Thank you all so much. So, we are going to get right into it. The online Marvel game announcement that we've been going on about for ages, that we've heard about, we're finally getting more information. Inadvertently. It's inadvertent information. This is not a leak. This is from the ENAD Global 7 Investor Presentation, or EG7. They pretty much go around acquiring studios, developers, and publishers. EG7 is a group of companies that develops, markets, publishes, and distributes video games for PC, console, and mobile on a global market. And as such, they have a number of acquisitions. And one of their biggest ones, of course, is Daybreak. And Daybreak is a leading MMORPG developer and publisher. They are the pioneer of online games with the release of EverQuest in 1999. And Daybreak has an expertise in free-to-play and game-as-a-service business model. Daybreak has a licensing agreement with Marvel that was just announced during this investor presentation. Now, this is important because throughout Daybreak's journey, we come to 2020, and in 2020, Daybreak acquired Dimensional Ink Games. Now, Dimensional Ink Games, of course, has worked on DC Universe Online, but it's what they're working on in the future that has pretty much excited everyone, and that is the online Marvel game. Now, buried within the investor presentation is an acknowledgement that they are expecting major growth, not only through what they already have, but also their unannounced Marvel project. So right now, their growth opportunities are a DC Universe Online upgrade. So they're going to modernize the visuals, upgrade key game systems, and add brand new large content update to capitalize on the next-gen console's growth cycle for significant growth opportunity. And they're also upgrading in 2022 Lord of the Rings Online. They're planning visual and technical updates for Lord of the Rings Online for PC and next-gen consoles to capitalize on Amazon's highly publicized large investment in the Lord of the Rings TV series. And then in the future, 2023 and beyond, they have this unannounced project that Dimensional Ink is developing. This is the online Marvel game. This is what we've been talking about. Now, depending on who you ask, some people are going to very quickly refer to this as an MMO. I'm going to avoid using any kind of specific MMO terms. I think that's a little too clickbaity. We know it's an online multiplayer game. I'm not going to use I'm just going to try not to use the phrasing MMO when I discuss it. We're going to keep a level head. We're going to keep an even perspective. Now, this is what we've been waiting for. This is going to be a very exciting and thrilling opportunity. Now, obviously, EG7 has a number of studios and a number of publishers and developers under its belt, and it is Dimensional Ink who is developing this online Marvel game. And of course, there is a Sony connection. So if you remember on our previous channel, we had leaked that Sony was working on 3 titles: Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, and what I speculated at the time was a multiplayer title potentially being developed by Insomniac to be published by Sony, because what we had heard was that Sony was publishing a multiplayer Marvel game, and we were trying to get to the bottom of it at the time. Well, now it has all come crashing down. We got to the bottom of it. We finally dug deep enough and we found it. This is the game that Sony is publishing, and it is the online Marvel game that's being developed by Dimensional Ink. So we've got it. We found the title. We have information. Now, of course, it's yet another long wait. We keep looking ahead at these titles. 2023 gets us Spider-Man 2. 2024, potentially Wolverine. 2024 could be, far away, and I know it sounds far away, but 2024 is also potentially when we could see this online Marvel game. So we have a road ahead of us to wait. It's not just around the corner, so we kind of have to accept that. We have to be patient. But it's really exciting. Now, depending on the gossip and depending on who you ask, and again, depending on the clickbait people want to run with, this is either going to be a DC Universe online Marvel skin kind of game. It's going to be a massive Marvel game, creating your own hero, blah, blah, blah. And then again, the other gossip is that this is sort of a spiritual successor to Marvel Heroes. You won't be creating your own hero. You'll be playing as Marvel Heroes in a massive open world that covers the scope and breadth of the Marvel Universe. Now, again, that's all gossip. That's all rumors. We, frankly, right now have not been able to pin down anything concrete. The only thing we know is we have the developer, we have the publisher, we know it is an online Marvel game, that it is multiplayer, and now it is highly anticipated amongst Marvel fans. Rightfully so, there's a lot to look forward to. Given the studio deals in free-to-play, even if it is a more traditional MMO, we can expect free-to-play. Obviously, there's going to be microtransactions. There's going to be attempts at monetization outside of that, so we're just going to have to be prepared. Even when the game does launch, even if it's more in the scale of Marvel Heroes, if it's, you play as a Marvel hero instead of creating your own, I still expect free-to-play, but monetization. That's just where gaming's going. I don't care for it myself. It's not the direction I want gaming to go in, but we might as well prepare ourselves and get ready for the most logical outcome. We can reach conclusions. We can look at deductions based on the development that we've seen. And again, to me, that's logical no matter which way it goes, whether it's the more traditional MMO, you create your own superhero, blah, 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 or again, a true spiritual successor to Marvel Heroes. Now, I know the one that I would prefer. I know the one that I hope it is. I honestly, maybe this could be a topic all of its own, which again, I'll make a note because it could actually be an interesting topic. But if I'm going to play in these worlds, I would rather play as these fictional characters. I would rather play as Wolverine, not a Wolverine knockoff. I would rather play as Ant-Man, not an Ant-Man knockoff. You know what I mean? Like, that's my direction on it. That's just my perspective on it. But I'm still excited for it, and it's going to be something now that we get to pay attention to, on top of paying attention to everything else coming out from Marvel. It's stacked. It's packed. These next couple of years are going to be heavy in terms of announcements, in terms of reveals, because, again, we haven't seen this game. It's buried in the investor. It's buried in their investor presentation. We have a road ahead of us in terms of Marvel releases, and it's only getting more exciting the more we hear about it. And this is before we get into all these rumors going around about potential remasters of older Marvel games. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. We could be keeping ourselves busy while we wait for games like Wolverine and this Marvel Online game currently untitled. But there's a lot. There is, and I'm excited by that. So, in the comments below, I'm interested because, again, I'd like to start this conversation. Which direction do you head in? You want to create your own character, or do you want to play as you want to play as the Marvel heroes and villains that you know and love? So I look forward to hearing your thoughts on that. And again, as I said at the top of the video, to my Avengers, to my patrons, thank you all so much for your support and for making this content possible. Without you, we simply would not be here. If you're able, please consider following that link in the description below, checking out our Patreon, and becoming an Avenger today. To everyone, thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of the conversation. I really do appreciate it. Please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel if you haven't, and clicking that share button and sharing this content across the social media of your choice. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms, and it lets YouTube know, hey, let's recommend that channel because people seem to like it. So thank you, and we do appreciate it. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye, everyone.